Oh, that helps out a little bit. Not really. Hello, everyone. This is my first of many lives. Let me know if y'all can hear me and see me, if anyone is here. So I'm recording inside my trailer. I don't know if the lighting is good in here. I bought this little light, but I don't think it's really working. It probably works better at nighttime than during the day. And I had so many things to do this weekend, but I didn't do anything. I was supposed to buy a stool for my trailer, but I didn't. So that'll be on my list of things to do for this week. But I have so many exciting things that are going to happen the week after next. I have my virtual book signing. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Hello, hit that subscribe button. This is how I try to be in my videos when I be recording myself, but it's different. It's really, really different being behind the camera, talking to myself. But this is different because I'm actually talking to you, like, immediately. Okay. But so yes, I have a book signing on September 27th. It's going to be on Facebook and Instagram, and I will pin my information here. Y'all can follow me on Instagram. It's at I am Brianna Ward. And then Facebook. I'm just gonna pin the actual link so y'all can just join. And it is public. It might not do it. And y'all might can hear my son in the background, but I should have already had this link. And I'm gonna pin it here. It's way too many. Well, I'll pin it in the description box because the link is too long. But I have a my virtual book signing is on September 27th at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Like I did my video on how I self-published my second book. Well, actually, I self-published my first book, but it's my second published book, if that makes sense. So the first book, A Dose of Betrayal, I went through a publisher, Shotwell Publishing House. And my second book, Shattered Love, I actually self-published myself. And I created a video on that, explaining the process, the steps, how simple it was, especially for me, because my publisher, she was able to take me along her journey because she actually self-published her book, which developed her into doing her own publishing company. And so I immediately went to her and I was like, yes, I trust you. I know you. Therefore, you can do it. So, and it was very simple because I wanted to go to another publishing company in the beginning, but I was scared that I was going to get scammed. And with contracts, I didn't want to feel pressured to writing a certain amount of books within a certain time frame, because I wanted to be able to just write whenever I wanted to, because that's what I enjoy doing. So that was a big thing for me. I had to make sure that I wasn't being pressured. Once I signed my name, I'm not going to be pressured into writing anything as soon as I signed. She was like, no. So that was good with that. And she also kept me along the journey. Like, if a model backed out or had to change an outfit or whatever the case was, had to switch a date, if something happened, she let them know, whatever. She handled that side business. And whenever it was resolved, she came back to me and was like, hey, such and such wasn't able to do it, but I found somebody else. And I was like, whew, less stress off of my back. So, but self-publishing is only you. So everything, I had to do everything. And luckily I was able to use the same person who did my book cover for my first book for my second one. And I used the same editor from my first book for my second one. And it made it easier because the editor, she read my first book and she was able to be like, oh, I remember this from the last one. Like, oh my gosh. So I was lucky that I had kept everything like that the same. But yes, my book signing is on the 27th on Instagram Live and Facebook Live. And I am so excited and nervous at the same time. But that's to be expected, especially when it's something new, because my first book signing was actually out. Like, it was a book signing. This one is virtually, so it's different. Very, very different. But y'all talk to me, because now I feel like I'm doing a video because nobody's talking to me. I don't know what other videos I should create. I do have like a notebook of what I want to do. But like I said, this week I was supposed to do at least 2 videos, and I'm going to upload one tonight. I've already have it edited. I created my thumbnail. All I have to do is just stop being lazy and just hit upload video. But so what videos should I create? And I'm going to leave this live up too. Today does not feel like Sunday. Does it feel like Sunday to you? And if I didn't already say it, thank you all for subscribing. Like, when I started this journey, I was like, I don't think anyone is going to want to hear my little voice. Like, and then when people leave comments and likes, and then when I see them on other videos, I'm like, wait, you're watching more than one video? Like, you're actually watching the entire video? Like, you took time to leave a comment to talk to me? Like, I'm going to talk back. Like, I love it. So thank you all for subscribing. I'm going to try to go live at least once a week. So Yeah, I'm gonna try my best. Already 10 minutes. Time is going by fast. Um, and it is so hot in this trailer. Like I do need to have like another fan right here on my desk. I'm currently on my checkout stand. I did create that video and I uploaded that one, so y'all can check that out of how I created it. I haven't finished putting the marble on top of it because that's going to be the next step, is to add the marble to the top shelf because I love marble. My flooring is marble tiled, so I just love marble. And once the desk is fully painted and designed, then I'll go ahead and add that video. But that will probably be like the last, because I have like 4 episodes. The first one is of painting and putting the primer in the slat wall panels. The second one is laying down the floor. The third one is installing the industrial racks. And the fourth one is the DIY checkout stand. So the fifth one will probably be me decorating the trailer, having all the clothes inside of here, and you all get to see the full thing of the checkout stand, what it looks like and all of that. I've already have the sides painted white, and the back of the stand is a gray. So it's coming along really, really well. I have my books and stuff under here, but it says I have 2 views, and I don't know if that's me and another person or if it's 2 people. Y'all can talk to me. I do talk back. Like, come on, don't just have me up here monologuing. Come on. Talk to me. Can y'all hear my son in the background? He's singing. We're outside. I'm inside the trailer, and I'm looking directly at him. You're tired of typing? Oh, we got another one. 3 people. Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to my channel. This is how I really am in real life. So when I am doing my videos, y'all do not understand. I did a video explaining why I have not been posting as much as I should have. It's because I am inconsistent, but I am consistent at being inconsistent. Like, and it's just not like I have 2 pages of content that I could talk about, but just building up that momentum of me doing it, and then like just a 12-minute video, it will take me an hour and a half just to do it, and then that means I have to edit it, so that's like another day on top of me actually building up the strength to do the video, you know. But I mean, you just got to do it scared, right? Well, that should be my next post on Instagram. I love doing my little inspirational posts because people be thinking that I'm just like, you know, scrolling up and down the time feed, like judging them. No, I'm speaking to myself. So I be preaching to myself. And people are like, yes, yes, I agree. And I'm like, honey, I'm talking to myself. Like, this is like my journal, my diary, me talking to myself. So so yeah, so I got a book signing on September 27th on Instagram Live and Facebook. And I'm also doing drawings. I was like, how am I going to do a drawing online? Like, how is this going to happen? But I figured it out. So I'm excited about that. And even if you want to attend, you don't have to purchase a book to be entered into the drawing, which is good because I don't want to feel like I'm pressuring people to purchase my book, because I did not make, I did not write my books to make a profit. Like, I wrote them because this is something that I've been wanting to do since middle school. Like, I put something to it and I'm like, I want to do something. It's like an accomplishment for me. And it usually, people, they'll be like, oh my gosh, you written a whole book. Like, you should feel that's a great accomplishment. And I'm like, it is. Like, okay. And they're like, you're so humble about it. I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, jumping up and down? Like, I don't understand. It's just a book. And last night it actually sunk in. Mind you, this book was published 3 years ago. It finally sunk in when I had to read it last night. And I was like, I wrote all of this. So, yeah. Y'all, these mosquitoes are terrible in this trailer. See, I'm about to end this live already because these mosquitoes, like, these are not the mosquitoes from like 5-6 years ago. These are different ones. Like, soon as they bite you, like, oh no. Well, I just wanted to do a quick hop on and just be like, thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for liking and commenting my videos. I really do appreciate. Hi, and thank you for subscribing. I hope you like so far what you see. This is how I am in real life. So when you click on my next video and you be like, where is your spunk? I don't care. Y'all can leave that in the comments. Y'all can be like, ma'am, your next video needs to be more live because this is how I am in real life. When I record my videos, I'm like, okay, so next topic, content. Like, so yeah, and thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And it's so hard. And then as soon as I hit stop, I'm like, whoo, that was whoo, whoo, whoo. But my channel is pretty much, I am a boutique owner. So y'all, these mosquitoes are eating my legs up. So I am a boutique owner. I have a clothing boutique for boys from preemie to preteen. And I have a website, weareboycrazy.com. And so I just take you along the journey of how I started. So I talk about what I didn't know going into the business, like how to find vendors. I did a video on that because people are so discreet. Yes, I am in the South, North Carolina, and these mosquitoes do not play. Like, once they bite you, they're like, oh, that's some good juice right there. Let me bite another. And usually I thought mosquitoes die after they bite you. No, honey, it's like the blood or something give them some extra momentum or something. But yes, I'm in North Carolina. And I also talk about with my how to find your vendors, things that I have learned along the way because every day is something new. Right now, I'm learning how to be consistent because it is a struggle, like a struggle. And just life, entrepreneurship. I have my son on my channel sometimes. So that's all it is. Yes, I am. I have heard of Wilmington, North Carolina. Wilmington is only like 2.5 hours because I'm in Greenville. So something like 2.5 hours, 3 hours max. If you got a lead foot, probably 2. But thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. But I love the beach. I haven't been to Wilmington in years, probably when I was little. But I went to Morehead City 3 weeks ago. Yep. Greenville is known as ECU. Yep. Any store you go into, they have something with ECU. Either a hat, a sign. Like, when you go downtown, it's nothing but ECU everywhere because that's where the college is. So they have changed everything. Downtown, they used to have like stores and stuff for like the elder people. Like, they had antique things, but now it's nothing but shops and restaurants and hotels. They have a library, and ECU is full of stuff down there. which is really nice. No, I've never been on the West Coast. I would love to, but I'm scared to fly. But I did get on my first flight 2 years ago. I went to we drove to Raleigh, which is only an hour and a half from Greenville. And then my first flight was to Miami, and we went on a cruise to Mexico. But I would love to go to California, San Fran, San Diego, Beverly Hills. I would love to. Are you from San Francisco? Oh, wow. Is it like hot there or just like humidity? Because like in North Carolina, it is humid, like humid. Phew, it's so hot. Because right now I think it's like 80 degrees, but it feels like 90 because of the humidity. Oh, wow. I bet it's beautiful there. Because y'all have beaches too, right? Miami, I love Miami. I loved it. We were only there for a day because our cruise was like a whole week. So we flew from Raleigh to Miami and we got there Sunday night. And so we stayed the night, and then Monday around 3, we boarded to the cruise ship. But Miami was beautiful just for that one night that we were there. It was definitely the party area where we were, especially the hotel. They had like a club at the bottom of the hotel, which was nice. And everyone was so friendly. But it was very, very beautiful. Yes, it definitely was before COVID. I was planning on going to another cruise like at the end of the year, but COVID has me scared. Like, and people are just out here living it up with no mask on. I'm just like, don't want to be around you. No offense. But yes, it was definitely pre-COVID. Oh my goodness, like the mosquitoes eating up my ankle. I gotta sit down. Yes, the mask, majority of the stores, they say that you have to have a mask upon entry. Some of the stores, they state that you have to have a mask upon entry, but the associates will see people coming in without a mask and they won't even say anything. So it's kind of like not required. But most of the restaurants, you have to have a mask when you enter. And then, of course, when you sit down at the table with your party, you can take the mask off. But yep. And I try not to watch the news because it's so sad and depressing. So my news is like Facebook. I'll know whatever is happening before it actually hit the news on Facebook. And people be commenting and posting like, no, I don't make clothes. I purchase from a wholesale vendor and I post it to my website. So I have boy clothing from preemie to I believe like size 14, 16. And I was like, now I see why there are not many boy vendors because it's so hard trying to find boy clothing. Like the style is just so bland. They just have regular pants or they'll have some cute little shirts, but they don't have jeans. And I'm just like, hold on, I'm about to see if I can sit down. Come on. I'm really starting to burn over here with these mosquitoes. Let me see. There we go. I might not be able. Let me see my light work now. Okay, that works a little bit. But yeah, I I find vendors online and I see, if they have the sizes that I'm looking for, make sure the price matches what I want. Like, I want my customers to feel like they are purchasing items that are affordable. So I don't want to be overpriced. No, not to make a profit. I mean, the profit is nice, but I want to be solely affordable for my customers because that's what my mission statement is, to provide affordable, nice clothing for your little one. And I'm currently inside my trailer. It is a 6x10 cargo trailer. And yeah, 6x10 cargo trailer. And once everything is done, I will do a tour. What I should do is do a live tour before I create the video. That would be nice for me to do, huh? It's just a like what the handyman have, like they have like a what is it? I just had a brain fart. Like the 4-wheelers where they store like their 4-wheelers, or if they have like tools or things like that. And you can pretty much design it however. I got the idea when I was looking into the idea of doing a boutique. I didn't want to have a brick and mortar because that would be additional, because you have rent, you got to have utilities, then you have to have employees. That means you have to make a profit to pay your employees. So I was like, So then I seen they had like LuLaRoe. And I was like, oh, and it was this one video where she and her husband designed the entire trailer. Theirs was it was a very long trailer, but it was so beautiful. Like, they had enough room for them, like a dressing room. They had enough room for you to walk around, like more than 10 people inside. It was beautiful. And I was like, wait a minute, I could get a mobile boutique, but for boys. And it's nothing that I have seen, especially in my area. So I continue to research and research and research. And I was like, this would be a nice idea. And so I just ran with it, and I've saved a lot of money, especially overhead costs, because I'm the only employee. So, and I can do pop-up shops with or without my trailer, because I have like a table here, and I bought a clothing rack from Walmart, and it's a 2-tier, so I can have all my clothes on there. And then when Dress Barn was going out of sale, when they were going out of business, I purchased a tea stand from them as well. So I have 2 clothing racks and my table, which is all I need, but including the inventory. And I bought a cash register or cash drawer from Walmart. And I have a Square reader. That way I can accept debit cards and credit cards. And I was like, I'm pretty much on wheels. So I can pop up wherever, as long as they say that I can pop up wherever I want. And that's totally what I want, because usually I had to think about it, since I've worked in retail, I've worked in fast food, and people love to call out, especially when you hire them. And I want to continue to work my 9 to 5. So I was like, I can't be at 2 places at one time. So I was like, especially if I'm in charge of my schedule, I can just pop up whenever I want, whenever I can. If I have employees, I have to abide by their schedule, like whatever their availability is. And I didn't want that. I mean, for right now, like in the future, possibly, like I might need additional help, so I can hire people to come to my pop-ups, but it'll still be as a need to be basis. But yep. And I love watching other YouTubers. My son is about to come around the corner. I hear him. Come on.
I said you're in the channel?
Yes.
I can. Hey.
This is Josiah. He is 4.
Hey. Hey.
I know which shop is great. What type of places have you know been on your list on this? Well, I just recently launched in January of this year, so I only attended 2 pop-up shops. So I was kind of still learning, which I am still learning. So I only did 2 pop-up shops this year, and then of course February it was real cold, so I wasn't able to like pop up because it was like really, really, really cold, too cold for me, and windy too. So I was like, oh, perfect. Once springtime comes, then I'll be able to actually do my pop-ups. And then COVID came. So I only did 2 pop-ups, and they were both at flea markets. And that's when I was learning, okay, flea markets are not where I should do like a pop-up shop unless I'm trying to get rid of inventory. That way my prices are marked down. Because my first pop-up shop at the flea market, this lady, she was looking at my items and she was like, oh, how much is this? And all my stuff are brand new, like brand spanking new. And I saw her price was $20, and she was like, oh. And I'm like, honey, these are not used. And I was like, okay, so it's all a learning experience, and that was definitely a learning experience. So I think like if I'm trying to get rid of inventory or if things are on sale, that's when I would attend flea markets. But there, I might be in a potential pop-up shop in November. So I'm still preparing for that. Yes, he is my twin. We, physically and mentally, he acts just like his mother.
I drank some water.
Yeah.
I was talking not to you. I was not talking to you. I was talking to them.
Okay. This is not your channel, though. Okay. Oh, you're thirsty, huh?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
I actually created my website, and I'm currently about to switch platforms. Right now, I'm doing Squarespace, but I believe Squarespace is for beginners. Like if you don't know exactly what you need, because Squarespace has it where you can select templates, and all you have to do is just plug in your information. Like if you want a picture where they have a picture, you just put your picture in, rearrange it or whatever. But now I am transferring to Shopify. Shopify is great, but if you don't know what you need, I would not recommend Shopify. Like it's so advanced, but it's good, especially once you use other platforms. Just like stop. Once you use other platforms, you're like, but this one didn't have that. This, oh wow. Because with Squarespace, they have, I think it's like 4 or 5 different plans that you can choose from. But with Shopify, they only have 3 plans. And with Squarespace, if you chose like the basic plan, you didn't have all the incentives that Shopify has. Because Shopify has 3 plans. It's like $29, $79, or $300. But the $29 plan covers pretty much 3 of the 5 plans that Squarespace has, which is much better. So I love. No, sir.
I put it down.
I love Shopify so far.
She said that.
I'm creating it, and it is a lot. Yes, I do write books. Josiah, can you look, honey? Watch out. Sit over here. Sit right there.
I can't sit
Josiah,
down.
sit right there. Sit down. Come on. Nugget, just sit down right there. There you go. See you out the cut. Yes, I do write books. So I've been writing books since middle school, and I published my first book in 2017, A Dose of Betrayal. And I can put it down. I can pin the website. That's the website. But I published A Dose of Betrayal in 2017. And then I self-published my second book, Shattered Love, this year, February, Valentine's Day of this year. What was your inspiration for A Dose of Betrayal? A lot. I had a lot of inspiration. I was in, let's see, I had just graduated high school when I started writing that one. Because I wrote it in 20, let me see. No, I started, when did I start? I started it in 2014, because I was in college. And I don't know, like, wouldn't necessarily have inspiration. It's just that I just love to write. And before I write a book, I don't know what it's going to be about. So I can literally just go to a blank Word document and I just start typing. When I start typing, I don't know what the characters are going to be about. I don't know what the name of the book is going to be about until probably chapter 2, chapter 3. And then I type. When I first started, I've written like 4 other books that have not been published yet, but this one was like my 4th one that I actually started writing. And I wrote one book, and that was the one that I said I was going to publish once I graduated high school. But this one was the one that I actually published, and I still have that one. And I think I'm going to tweak that one some more. That probably will be the next book that I publish. But I love reading Zane, Carl Weber, LaJill Hunt, Sister Soldier. Like, those are books that I enjoy reading. I do read like other books, but I just love erotica. I love romance. I love drama, suspense, as long as it's not too scary, because I don't like scary things. But yeah, I really enjoy writing. And when I wrote my first book, I was so scared, like terrified for people to actually be like, oh my gosh, because if you know how CDs have like the explicit, but if it could have an explicit on the side of here, it would. Parental advisory definitely required, because yeah. But it took me, I believe it took me like 3.5 years, 4 years, because I started it when I was in school. So it was like 2012, 2013 when I started writing it. And I had a lot of distractions, like a lot, like relationship, school took a lot, because I was full-time. I was working 2 jobs, working full-time, school full-time. I was doing like 18 credit hours while working 2 jobs. And I still managed to write the book. I believe I had, how many chapters are in here? 22. I think there's 23 in here. Hold on. Yeah, so it's 23 chapters. I want to say I was all the way up to chapter 19, and then I stopped. I was at chapter 19 and I stopped writing. And that's when I reached out to my publisher, and she was like, at the time, we were just friends, and I didn't know she had written a book. I didn't know, well, I knew she written a book, but I didn't know she self-published her book. So I was asking her, who published your book? Because I'm thinking about publishing mine. It's not finished yet. And she was like, oh, well, I actually self-published mine, and it only took me 3 months. And I was like, okay, so that inspired me to go ahead and finish it. And by that weekend, I had the book finished. I read over it, and I was like, I'm ready. No, I have never been married before. Hey, tell Adrian and them pretty babies I said hello. But no, I've never been married before.
Hey.
And actually, the funny thing is, none of my family did not know I wrote books. Like no one. It was only I could count on one hand how many people knew that I wrote books. And it was two of my girlfriends from middle school. They knew I wrote books because I would actually write things and have them read it, and we would three-way on the phone, and they were like, "Oh yes, this is good. I really like this." And I was like, "Okay." So they motivated me to keep writing. And then once I got to high school, I was like, "Okay, y'all, can y'all read this? Can y'all let me know what y'all think? Because this is what's going to be published. So I need, like, I value your opinion. I need to know." And of course, my mom knew. Three people. I want to say it was two more people who knew that I wrote. Of course, my dad. But he didn't know what type of books I wrote. He just knew that I wrote. And my mom, like, I told her a little bit of what I wrote, but I didn't tell her everything. And then she found out when she bought a book. But yeah, it's rated R. Like, yeah.
Mommy, hurry up.
My editor really, she wants me to create a separate web page specifically for my books, and she was giving me ideas of, like, I could have like a separate page where they can write their reviews or testimonies of how they want to begin writing, and then leverage like that. But I had thought about it. I really have thought about it. And that's what I'm trying to figure out once my because I'm gonna start Shopify once my Squarespace runs out on the 22nd of this month. So I've been thinking about doing like a separate web page specifically for my books. And then I was gonna have like a pen name for my books, but then I was like, but no, I want people to know that it's me, but I just don't want them to ask me about it. Like, to this day, when I used to work at my retail job, I was there for a year and a half, and no one knew that I wrote. They did not know that I wrote books. It was because someone that I knew had told them, and it was like, "Oh, so why didn't you tell us that you were an author?" And I'm like, "How did you know that?" Because they was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" Like, because I tell you what I want you to know, and I didn't want you to know that. Like, you know. So for this, both of the book covers, his name is Randy. He goes by Artist in Photography. He does amazing, great work. Amazing, like amazing. So I had to explain to my publisher what the theme of my book was about. Betrayal, pretty much, like betrayal. So I had to give her the rundown, let her know what happened, what the characters were doing, what they did, and she was like, "Okay." And so then we had a meeting. It was me, the publisher, and the photographer, and I had to give him a synopsis of what the book was about. And he was like, "Okay, all right, so what if we do this, what if we do that?" And I was like, "Oh, cool." Because in my eyes, all I do is write it. So, and for some reason, that's how I am even with the second book. Like, once I complete the book, I am done with it. Like, this book, I am tired. Like, I'm so tired of this book, but I have to reread it because my publisher, the contract was only for 2 years, and since the contract is over, now I have the rights back to my book. So I have to put it underneath my name, underneath in Amazon. So I had to get a new barcode, and I had to resubmit the book cover, and I had to resubmit the inside, the manuscript, and everything. So I wanted to reread over if there were any corrections that I noticed after we published it. I wanted to go ahead and do that, which I did find a few errors. So I wanted to correct that. So I have to reread it. And no lie, I read this book more than 65 times. Yes. So I'm beyond tired of reading this book, but I have to read it again tonight. But yeah. And then when we were at the photo shoot for this book, we were like, "Oh, there definitely have to be like a part 2. Maybe we can do something like this, like have one person looking at themselves in the mirror, and it'll be a reflection." I was like, "Oh, that could be the next book." But I had it set in stone that I was not going to write a part 2. And then 2 years later, part 2. And this is the vision that we want. And he was giving me ideas with Photoshop. I did not know you could do so many things with Photoshop. And I was like, with one of the characters inside of here, she pretty much has to look at herself because she feels damaged. And so she goes to therapy, and she wants, the therapist wants her to look in the mirror and point out all of her positive attributes. Like, what do you see yourself when you look into yourself? And so that was how this came about. So she's here and she's looking at herself and she feels like she's glammed up, but she's broken. She literally sees that she is broken. And then on the back of it, he was giving me ideas like, oh, we could have like shattered glass and stuff. I was like, oh, and he was like, yeah, with images in it. And that's how this came about. Shattered glass with pictures of her face and my face and everything. Like, the detail is beautiful, like beautiful. See, and it's weird that you say that about a video trailer, because I had posted on Instagram about my books and stuff, and usually I'm like, I try to be open with people who follow me, because of course if you following me, that means you want to get to know me, and I try to be transparent. I try to be real, except with my YouTube videos because I feel like dry, but this is how I am. So I had one of my friends that I went to high school with. He messaged me and he was like, hey, whenever I come back to Greenville, we should do like a video trailer for, all your books and stuff. And I was like, oh dear, I'm getting nervous. I was like, yeah, that sounds great. But that is in the works, believe it or not. Yes, it's a sequel. So, I don't know if you can see that good, but this here, I went to school with her. He is from Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is like 2.5 hours from Greenville. And my publisher knew her. And she does makeup. And so she did the makeup for her. And I went to school with her as well. And the funny thing is when I was doing my second book, I was like, okay, since I already had the book done, I already know who I want on the cover. I already know who I want to do her makeup. And I went back to square one. I was like, hey, I need you to do makeup. And she did her makeup. And I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I want you to be on the cover of my book. Is that okay? I paid her and everything. And she got a free beat. Like, you have vision, got to make it happen. Okay? Make it happen. But yes, this is part 1 and this is part 2. And everyone that read A Dose of Betrayal was harassing me to make a part 2. And I was like, no part 2. No. And even Jaleesa, the makeup artist, and she was Ashley in the book, and this is Joseph, this is Rosalind, and this is Tammy, which is Rosalind's best friend. And even Jaleesa, she was like, yeah, you need to have a part 2. And I was like, okay, all right. Everyone was saying that I should have a part 2. Now I have a part 2 and I'm so excited and nervous that they're going to harass me for a part 3. I'm not ready. But yes, they follow the same characters. I don't want to spoil it, but yes, I have all the same characters in there. And it is juicy. So if you like erotica and betrayal and drama, definitely look into it. Okay, going live wasn't too bad. Well, they're really up. I haven't thought about it. That's a good question. But the characters, they are black, but I mean, it's really up to your, let me see. Because I do describe them, but I don't describe like the skin tone. Well, I do describe of the therapist because I describe her as being melanin, like a special Godiva chocolate, because I wanted her to feel like I want her to be described as a very beautiful, black, powerful woman, especially therapist. And let's see, Rosalind, I described her being like light skin. But yep, even the characters on the book are black. And I don't know if y'all can see the images, but I wanted to, like, when I create, just sorry, can you wait? When I created the image, I wanted to still be able to see like a picture with like the picture in the background and the words forward, but I wanted to have pictures. So we had like a real photo shoot, So there were pictures and images. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is like Ashley in front of Joseph and Rosalind behind him. And then this is Rosalind and Joseph here. And then this is all three of them together. Like I wanted my reader to be like, oh my gosh, like how is she even allowing her husband to be by the mistress? And how is she even able, like I wanted to get that feel. Like, yes. But I really, really I enjoy writing. I really, really do. Just the fact that you can get your reader to go on a journey with you and you can envision everything. I mean, I would read, I can read the synopsis of it. Maybe the next video, the next slide that I do, I might read like snippets of it. But yes, I am working on something. I actually, no one knows this, but I have part 3 in the back of part 2. So they don't need to harass me and be like, okay, is there going to be a part 3? Yes, there is going to be a part 3. But I'm not going to release part 3 next. I'm going to do another book that is totally different characters. But yes, I currently am working on other things. I designed this t-shirt here, Mindset. To change one's attitude, to adjust your way of thinking. And this will be on my website beginning September 22nd. But I'll read the synopsis on the back of it. Rosalind was blessed to marry a wealthy man whom she believed she was more than willing to share her lavish lifestyle with her. However, she would soon learn that the two of them did not share the same dreams. Was she willing to sacrifice her own dreams for his? Or would she take drastic measures to quench the thirst of her own desires, thus hindering her marriage? Right. Like, and the funny thing that you said that my cousin, she was like, is this like 50 Shades of Grey? And I'm like, possibly. Minus the, the tools and stuff. But yes. But I believe my favorite character is Rosalind because I see a little bit of myself in each character that I write about, but I really see myself in Rosalind because I feel like I put my personal dreams on hold for other people because we tend to do that sometimes. We tend to be so happy, especially when we're in relationships. We want to make sure that our partner is happy, that we do not care if we accomplish what we want, our dreams. We just want to make sure that they're happy and that they're satisfied with the relationship. And so I really, Rosalind is me, okay? But, and then in the end, you have to be like, is it worth it? Like, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Do I really want to continue to be in a relationship where I'm not happy, where I'm always sacrificing, and then they're not sacrificing for me? Do I really want to, So it was definitely some revealing of myself in each of these characters, believe it or not. And that's the cool thing about writing. Like, you can put yourself inside the character and you can like switch it around. Like, I think she's talking about herself, but I'm not really sure. And then with Tammy here, After Tammy's fifth divorce, yes, she was married 5 times. Okay. She decides to take Rosalind's suggestion of speaking to a therapist with hopes to mend her broken heart. Along the therapy journey, Tammy is forced to rekindle relationships for the sake of her kids. Is Tammy strong enough to unravel her past without rekindling old flames, or is she capable of setting boundaries for the sake of her kids? So, transparent moment. I actually went to therapy about 3 years ago. Yeah, see, that's thank you. Thank you. But yes, transparent moment. Tammy is it was a piece of me, and when I went to therapy because I had a lot of pressure on me, and relationships can take a toll on you. Like, especially when you stop putting yourself first and you start putting others before yourself, and then you like, dang, I really lost myself. Like, I really lost myself. Like, that was the reason why it took me so long to write this book, because I lost myself. And I had to go to therapy, and it was very relaxing to be talking to a therapist about things that I didn't know, and I didn't feel like I was being judged or anything. And I was like, wow, this could be something that Tammy could do. It could be a breakthrough for her like it was for me. She can actually sit and talk to someone instead of Rosalind, because she might feel like Rosalind will judge her because Rosalind went to therapy herself. So I was like, oh, I can put my personal experiences and put it into a book, and I can tweak it, and I can add stuff, or I can take stuff away, and no one would know, because I have a blurb here that says that this is a work of fiction, names, characters, businesses, places, and events, just pure coincidental if it applies to you. So I love that I'm able to take personal, experiences and put it into a book format and tweak it to where you have the reader like, did this really happen to her? No, I didn't go to make me a better writer. I went to make me, realize that I have to remember to put myself first again. It's important to say no. And there was one session where she wanted me to tell the next person who asked me something no. And it's hard for me to say no. Like, it's hard. So, and she realized that. She was like, your next assignment, everyone, until we meet again, the next time someone asks you to do something, say no. And I was like, no, that's gonna be hard. I was like, no. She was like, yes, you don't need an explanation for no. So that was very, very hard for me. But it helped me. I wouldn't say it made me a better writer. It made me to be able to experience things in a better light, so I can apply my personal experience into writing. So well, you could say that it made me a better writer. Why? It was nice talking to you too. Wow, I cannot believe I have been up here for an hour. An hour goes by fun. It goes by fast when you're having fun. Well, I'm going to go and head on in. It was really nice chatting with you all. I really can't wait to do this again. Well, I am going to leave this live up. Also, this light works better at night. Okay. Well, I will see you all again next time. So Thank you all for watching and staying on with me and chatting with me. I did not feel like I was talking to myself.
Bye. We have to see y'all tomorrow.
Just like, stop. What you got? Something in your face.
Mom, that's why I got in a fight.
With who?
With Bro. I got in a fight with his team and my team.
Oh, your imaginary friend.
Yeah, so that's how I got beat up.
Anyone have toddlers up here? Like, do y'all have any kids? This is my first live, so I'm going to try to go live again, maybe one day this week. I did not know toddlers have like imaginary friends because my son, he loves talking to his imaginary friends. And people were like, who's he talking about? His imaginary friend.
Yeah, imaginary friend. It's an imaginary friend when I talk to him and something about his brother.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Well, I will see you all next time.
Say bye-bye and say good night.
Bye. Good night. Are you going to say bye? Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Well, see y'all next time.
See y'all. Bye. Bye.